Hey, Mark.
Hey, Jeremy.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, you're leaving, huh? You're done in May?
Yep. April. Last
April.
being April.
Congratulations.
Sorry.
Well, hey, while I've got you, thank you for everything that you've done for the golf course, and I do appreciate your business-like mind on a financial perspective, and I think it's been great. It's been great working with you.
Jeremy, the pleasure is all mine. You make things so easy. I think in retrospect, all we really had to do is just give you the ball and let you run with it. This is all your success. I didn't really have anything to do with it.
Well, I appreciate the trust, right? So anyway, well, I'm happy for you. Really am. Who's calling? Why is somebody calling? Oh, it's just an alarm that a Zoom meeting starting. Hi, Carl.
Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Carl.
I kind of jumped in the middle of your moment there, guys, but thanks, Mark, for everything.
You're very welcome. It's been a lot of fun.
Do you have somebody that's going to take over, or is that still up in the air?
As far as I'm aware, there is no one that has been nominated. So at this point, it's probably going to be a write-in candidacy, if anybody's going to do it. I don't know. Well, could be anybody. Somebody said that this district would elect the ham sandwich if the potato chips voted for it.
Well, interesting. So what about finance, though?
They would have to, well, there's a new committee, right? New council
Okay.
for April, whatever that first election date is in April. So the second council meeting in April is when they'll get sworn in.
Got it.
And they would elect all new, well, just like any committee, any vacancies from the city's perspective, the mayor would fill.
Got it. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey,
I know
Kelsey.
Brad was trying to get on. He's having computer issues. That's what was the alarm. But and I'm not sure about. I know Janet was planning on being here. I don't know where they're at right now. So
well, I feel like usually you send a Zoom link, but this time I had to go into the agenda and do it and then type in the password and I've never had to do that before.
got it. You know what? I will. So JR Lord, you send Brad. I'll do that right now. Give me a sec, guys. Trying or Brad.
Sure.
Who else is not on? Brad, Tom, Dennis,
Tom.
Janet.
Dennis?
Dennis is almost here, it looks like.
No, that's not the link.
There's Dennis.
Janet's on her way. I just talked to her. She had to help me get through to join this meeting. It was a little more difficult this time.
Yeah, that's my fault, guys. I did not send the link out. I'm just so used to being able to type in a code, to be honest. And yeah, sorry about that.
No problem,
Right.
right, Kelsey?
For us senior citizens, that's major.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I got Janet sent me an email and I just saw it, so I just sent everybody the link again that wasn't on, so. 1, 2, 3, 4. I suppose we should just wait another minute or two here.
I just talked to her. She gave me the code to get in here, so she must have it too.
Just so.
Did you talk to Tom Scott by chance?
No, in fact, that's funny you asked that. We saw him in the grocery store 2 or 3 days ago, and I think he said, I'll see you at the meeting. I'm not sure he said that, but I think he did.
Okay. Well,
Well, we have 4.
yeah. Should we, Kelsey, do you want to take this thing over? I mean, it's 6:05.
Sure.
Okay.
Is anyone here from the public to comment? I don't
None.
think so. So we can get moving to approve a minutes from last time. Do we
Yep.
have a motion?
I move to approve the minutes from the last meeting on December 20th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion approved. Jeremy, take it away.
Everybody get the let me make sure I'm not jumping the gun here.
We have golf operation and financial update on
Thank you.
the agenda.
So golf operation update, really quick, guys. Kevin Hurd has verbally given me his intent to retire on March 1st.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
so
Okay.
that is some new development in the golf operation. We do not have a letter of intent just yet, so there's nothing in writing, but we certainly are going to have this on the docket of filling that position in the coming weeks, months. Now, the good news is I've been prepared for this for, I would say, the last 2 to 3 years, and have been molding, a replacement for Kevin. I would say I've been doing this for the last 5 years. So this is not a surprise. I'm very prepared for this, and I think Kevin is just ready to move on. He still wants to be involved as much as he can from a legal standpoint with being rehired within the city, with it not affecting his retirement plans. But he still has a great passion for Pleasantview Golf Course, and he wants to be involved with us. But he just wants to take a step down from the reins. So, yeah. Tom, just FYI, Kevin Hurd announced verbally to me, gave me his intent to retire on March 1st. Yep.
You and I had talked about that several times.
Yep.
Sorry, everybody. I completely lost track of time. Watching the news,
Okay.
having a glass of wine. My fault. Sorry.
That's okay, Tom. It's okay.
So anyway,
A little trouble at Middleton High School.
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't seen anything more about it. I heard there was a gun involved.
Yeah. Yep, there they are.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
All right. Wow, we have a meeting.
Now
We
we're
do.
it's
It's
all
all right.
7.
Yeah. We were just on the first, well, not even the first topic. Jeremy was giving an off agenda update quick about
Just keep going, Kelsey.
having.
Yeah, we went through the minutes. We approved the minutes from last meeting. Is there anything we could certainly go back if anybody has anything to add about the minutes from last meeting? Okay. And we just got in golf operation updates, right? So, just Brad and Janet, I announced to the crew here that Kevin Hurd did give me his verbal intent to retire. Now, I do not have a written intent to retire, but he told me March 1st. And I think, he and I had a long lunch the other day, last week, and we talked about it. And I think, he's ready for a new chapter in his life. He's ready to move on. He certainly will be missed, but we at Pleasantview have been ready for this day for, I would say, a solid 3 years, if not longer. I do have a plan in place, which I'll share. I mean, frankly, Matt Stotts has done the right things. He's gotten his, he's gone into further schooling when it comes to agronomy. He has interviewed with other places for a superintendent position. He has gotten his golf course superintendent association's license. I mean, he's done the right things to take on this position. And it certainly, when the time comes, would be my recommendation that Matt Stotts does move up internally into Kevin's spot. Then what that would leave us is that we would have to fill the assistant super role, which I do have ideas. I'm just not ready to go into those ideas just yet. So I feel very, very good about this, and so does Kevin Hurd. And for those that missed this, Kevin does want to, as long as it does not mess with his retirement plans with the city, he does want to help us out at a part-time capacity. I mean, he's been with Pleasantview Golf Course for over 40 years.
Wow.
He has done magic for us.
You
He's a
really
great guy.
That's
Great
really
guy.
has.
Yes, he is.
He gave me the analogy, right, of a farmer having a passion for their land. That was like his same belief for Pleasantview Golf Course. Even though he understands it's not his land, that's what he believes, and that's going to be hard to replace, no question.
Well, if there is some capacity that he can continue to be engaged with P-View, that'd be good for all of us and good for him.
I agree. I think it'll be good for him and it'll be good for us. Other than that, everybody should have gotten the financials. Any questions on the financials?
Great year.
Yep, looking great.
Okay, with no questions on the financials, let's see, what's the next one? It's update on easement. Okay, yep. So just a quick update. MG&E did come out, and we came up with, well, you can see that there was a proposed easement. It actually is the second document that there was like just a yellow line, right? We did walk the land with them. We feel very, very comfortable with what MG&E has proposed. And the only adjustment that I recommended, based on Matt Stotts's recommendation, is that you see a document where there's a blue line.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to move that just 55 some feet, I guess would be towards the south, to just give us a little bit more comfort room when it comes to our irrigation lines. But other than that, MG&E, they're going to go to council, I think, within the month to approve this easement. And you'll see that they are going underneath the pond, as a matter of fact. So they're going to literally put this under our irrigation pond, which the engineers feel very comfortable with, and the borers. And we do have, some written agreements of that. MG&E just can't come out and just cut trees whenever they want, right? So this easement, they have to work with us, and we would prefer to manage the trees. If they have a problem with a tree, they will come to either me or whoever my replacement is in the future to manage the trees. So yeah, we feel very good. And there's my little update. Any questions on that?
So just to be sure, Jeremy, that's the second diagram that you showed us, the 1,670 feet with the yellow line going under the pond.
Yeah, so that was the original one. And then you'll see
Okay.
the other diagram where it kind of zooms in on 2 Prairie Green. And
Right.
I'm proposing that they move it south to that blue line, which they are going to do.
Okay.
So where's the pond?
That's
So
up
then-
further up left, or it's up higher in that picture.
In the original yellow line document.
Oh, okay, as it goes up to the pump house.
Correct, yeah. And what's great is, other than my blue line suggestion,
Mhm.
everything else is pretty much in a prairie, right? So it really, it's very little impact on Pleasantview Golf Course. So I think
Right.
this is a very, very smart move to keep the poles 30 feet to the east on Pleasantview Road. So,
So this is all underground?
yep, correct, all underground, yep.
We're not getting any static from anybody going through that prairie ripping it up, are we?
I mean, Tom, it would be just a rip up of a couple
Yeah, I
feet.
know, but and it's our prairie, but there are people who might take, we haven't heard from anybody, I take it.
No, we're talking, so they bore at a spot and then they push it through, right? They're not
Right.
ripping up
Oh, yeah,
really a lot. Yeah,
It's been through the neighborhood 3 or 4 times, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
You're
I'm
right.
good. I'm good.
No, I think this is, golfers, it's gonna be very, very unnoticeable.
When are they doing it, Jeremy?
To be determined, council needs to approve the easement.
Will it be like this year though yet still, or?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
it has to be this year. Yep, it
Okay.
has to be, they're gonna push it through, I wanna say the next council meeting.
Hmm.
Not, Mark, do you have one on Tuesday, this Tuesday?
No, it'd be February 2nd, I believe.
I think they're gonna try to push it on that February 2nd.
MG&E wanted frozen ground if they could get it, didn't they?
Right. I
Yep.
remember that from the last meeting, Jeremy.
Yeah,
Right.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, February 1st, I guess.
yeah, Tuesday, February 1st, yeah.
First Tuesday.
Okay, so I lumped these two together. Pleasantview Road updates, you saw, so, okay. Let me just make sure that you were seeing the same document. From Kevin Norby, right? You saw an update in regards to, what 2 and 3 is gonna cost. And it certainly is higher than the predicted 400 grand that we were thinking. And a lot of it has to do with, unfortunately, today's world, right? And what's going on. Now, the good news is this is an estimate, and we would still go out to bid. And remember, and Mike Davis, Bill Burns, and Sean Stowski are all aware of this number. Okay, so they have all seen this, but it would still be under TIF budgeting. To just 2 and 3 Prairie, right?
No, Lake, I think you mean.
Or I'm
Lake.
sorry, Lake.
Right.
Just
Yep.
hole 2 and 3 Lake. Correct. Yep. So I just wanted to make sure I got that in front of the golf committee as an update. And again, the Mike, Bill, and Sean have that document as well.
what do we do next with this? Like, where does this?
Yeah,
Fine.
so Kevin's gonna start putting together bid documents. Kevin Norby, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Jeremy, just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
he has identified a number of changes, potential changes to the course.
Oh, okay, so do you want to jump into?
That's the other course, or the
That's
other one, right?
That's the
Any-
separate
Oh,
one. yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll wait. I'm sorry.
Any other questions on 2 and 3 Lake?
Well, let's get the bid documents out and find out how bad it's going to be.
Mhm.
We have to do it. We don't have a choice.
Right.
Mhm.
It's not our fault.
Okay, so did everybody see that renovation plan map, right?
Yep.
Okay. so now let's take 2 and 3 Lake aside, right? So ladies and gentlemen, this is where, you know, I mentioned in my email out to you all, this is a pivotal moment for us to decide the future of Pleasantview Golf Course for a very, very, very long time. And, you know, I sent Mark, I did not send you the a survey link just because, don't take this the wrong way, but you wouldn't know what that survey was talking about. Like, hey, what do you prefer? Do you prefer having more forward women's tees or senior tees? Do you prefer a downhill par 3? But I did send it to the people that do play golf out there. And did everybody see that survey by chance?
I
Yes.
did not,
Okay. All right.
but probably because it got caught up in a ton of other mail.
Okay. But here are the major projects, right? So number 9 Woods is obviously one that we've been kind of harping on for a very long time, right? The other major projects would be, let's just then, okay, so Woods is done. Now let's move on to the Lake course. Lake 6, you know, for me, I do not like having a dog leg left, dog leg left. I think Lake 5 is a nice hole. I really do. I think Lake 6 is not a fun golf hole. There's no, you can't see the green for another hole, right? I mean, I don't like that. And then the landing zone is incredibly difficult, right? It's very, very narrow. It's not a fun risk reward hole. And so that's something that Kevin Norby and I were talking about, is trying to improve the sight lines and then opening up the fairway a little bit and making it a little bit more risk reward as opposed to a hard 90-degree dog leg left.
You can't hold the front of that green. If the pin is on the front side of that green, you can't hold it. It just bounces to the back.
It's tough. It's tough. And
It's not tough, it's
frankly,
impossible for some
well,
of us.
So Tom, I don't mind that if
Oh, good for you.
if we get people a shorter iron in their hands, right? And that's what I'm proposing, right?
No,
And that's kind of the risk reward piece of it, right?
my risk reward is dropping a long putt.
Yeah, okay, fair. But okay, so let's stay on topic just a smidge here. And what we're looking at is potentially moving the tee boxes closer, if you can try to visualize this, but closer to where the water or where the portable restroom is, as a matter of fact. Okay. And we don't have to get into the logistics of it right now. Okay. And then we would open up, you know, some of the trees. Then on hole 8, again, my trouble is it's not a great sight line. And part of the issue is hole 9 being able to make it a safe par 5. So we were thinking about the idea, could we put this green kind of around the pond to bring water more into play, or do we push the green back towards 6 Lake tee box? Okay. And what either one of those options would allow us to do is to make hole 9 a safe par 5. Okay. So those are the major changes on the Lake course. And then on the Prairie course, hole number 3, it's essentially eliminating the left side of that fairway, which is frankly unused, and our staff spends a lot of time mowing. We would get rid of that random waste bunker that has no real need. We would regrade some of the area to help with the drainage. And then we would potentially bring that pond closer to the green to make it more of a risk reward hole. So you see the pond where it's shaded in blue,
right?
That would be new water, like new. We would dig it out.
All right.
Which would also help with the drainage.
I don't see anything on 4.
Nothing on 4.
It's got a terrible drainage problem.
It's not like three. Three, do you remember, like, there's standing water goes on three. There's
Yeah,
barely standing water on four. Four is wet, don't get me wrong. But three, I mean, do you recall 2 years ago, was that last year, 2 years ago, where we have dead spots in the fairway because of standing water?
Right, no, I know that, but four has a serious drainage problem. I wish we could do something about that.
I don't disagree. I think three is more of a priority.
Well, I like three. I think the change to three is really nice. And we can always do something about the drainage on four, but I certainly shouldn't lose track of it.
I don't disagree. It was just kind of more what's the priority, you know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I agree. That's fine.
And then finally, we would jump up to hole 8, and this is, you know, where we would create a shorter downhill par 3.
Right.
Okay. From my survey, and now granted, this did not go out to the general public. This was more towards, you know, I would say 25 people that I thought could get valuable insight, including you all. Let me just pull it up. All right. So the addition of new forward tees throughout the golf course, 54% kind of gave that a, I don't care, it doesn't really matter. Whereas 46% thought it was like a number 4 on the scale of 1 to 5.
What was that question?
Would you like rate how important adding senior tees or
Oh,
women's
okay.
tees or junior tees are?
Okay, the first question.
Yeah, more than half rated it a 3, and then like 46% rated it a 4. Okay. The big ones were Woods 3, and Lake. Woods 3, Woods 9, and Lake 8 were the top 3 to move forward. Which Woods 3, 100% agree, and Woods 9 is a tough one too.
Yeah.
And then Lake 8, those are kind of the 3 that were in my head. The one that I didn't think about that's right up there too is Woods number 7.
Woods 7.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Par 3.
Par 3.
Par 3,
Yep.
long par, uphill par 3.
Yeah, you got to carry 2 sand traps. I mean, you know, that's a tough golf hole. It's a very tough golf hole.
Yes,
It's a
it is.
tough hole, but I thought there was enough tee box there, Jeremy, to go forward on. I thought there was enough. I mean, it's 120 from the front? Something
Oh
like
boy,
that?
it's probably 151.
Is it that
Yeah.
much? Okay, all right.
Yeah, and then straight uphill, right? So it plays a solid
So it plays-
175 or something like that. You
Plays
know?
a lot longer.
Yeah, it
Okay.
really does. From the tips, it's like 200 yards or 195 yards.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
And then of course the ones that ended up winning were number 1 was make number 9 a par 5 of Lake. That was number
Mhm.
1. And then number 2 was make number 8 a short hill downhill par 3 or short downhill par 3.
Mhm.
All right. So adjustments to the putting surface on hole 9, 62% gave it a 5. And then 31% gave it a 4. And then there was one person that voted it a 2. Adjustments to the right side of the putting surface on lake number 1, the majority didn't care. They either didn't care or it was not a priority. So I think that answers our question on hole number 1, lake. Improvements to realign hole 6 on the lake. 62% gave it a 4 priority out of 5. 23 gave it a 5. And then 15% gave it a 3. So that's interesting, right? So I wasn't the only one that was thinking that, right? Realignment on hole 8. Now 39% gave it a 4, 31% gave it a 5, and then 31% gave it a 3, like, not a priority, not really care. I wonder how much that influences due to number 9, right, being a par 5. Because 46% gave that a 4, and then another 46 gave it a 5. So clearly, making hole 9 is a par 5 is something that people want. Redesign irrigation concerns on hole 3. 70% gave it a 4. 20% gave it a 3, and then looks like one person gave it a 2.
Hole 3 on Prairie.
On Prairie.
Okay.
Which is interesting, right? Majority gave it 70% gave it a 4. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The redesign on hole 8, 62% gave it a 5, and then 31% gave it a 4, and then one person gave it a 3.
8 Woods.
8 Prairie.
A prairie
8 Prairie, excuse me.
for the downhill par 3.
Right.
So in summary, guys, the priorities are Woods 9, just based on the small sample size, right, of what people want. Woods 9, Lake 6 is high up there. Lake 8 is high up there, but I think Lake 8 is high up there because of Lake 9, because that's high up there. And then Prairie 8 would be next, and then followed up with Prairie 3.
I like them all.
All good.
How do we
So-
afford it?
So you do these in order of priority?
Well, I mean, I think what we need to do is we need to ask ourselves what Tom just asked. Right? This is a big deal. I mean, we're talking,
$1 million.
Yeah.
yeah, we're talking
870.
just shy of $900,000 to do all of this. Now, $900,000 to do all of this, including the addition of the tees, right?
Mhm.
And that also includes hole 9 Woods, by the way.
Right.
9 Woods Green.
So here's your issue, right? I think, where are you in the plan? Where's the financials in terms of the plan on having the reserve?
You're talking like audited financials, Mark?
Yeah, let's go back to last year. Was it? So I'm sorry, we can't do that. If you look at the financials, basically it says that this year is going to add $1.4 million, which this committee's already granted the city finance director to take that. So the question is, what's left in reserves?
Okay.
Right, I think it's probably around 400,000 or 500,000.
So I'll look into that, Mark, in just a sec. So right now, next year, we already had $210,000 budgeted, right?
Should have $300,000 budgeted.
Sorry, for the golf course improvement.
Yeah, it should be 300,000.
It's not. So we can eliminate this Greensmore because we're getting one this year.
I'm
So
sorry.
we
we
could-
should.
Can you guys see the screen or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is TIF. This is TIF. We can push this one. This was me being proactive. We can push this one into 2024, right? And this was me looking into 2024 for design work for our
Right.
maintenance building. So I think we should keep this one there, right? okay? But we can absolutely add 20 and we could add 70 grand, no problem. So we could put $280,000 on our annual, right, capital fund towards these projects. So then now to Mark's question. How much is left? Okay. 1.6, is that where we're at? Give me a sec. Now remember these are not audited. Yeah, okay, so prior to capital outlay, right, we were at just under one, let's round up to 1.7, okay, from this past year.
So we're carrying forward 300.
Do what now?
No, so Jared, I think you need to go this way. What was your balance at the end of 2020?
Yep, so that's where I'm at now, right?
What was the balance?
1.23.
And then you're adding another 1.4 million from 21?
Well, no, because we're paying down the general fund.
Wait. So you're at 2.6. And then 1.5 is coming off to pay the general fund.
Mm-hmm.
So you're at 1.1.
Right here, this one, see this cell that I've got right here? Just under 1.1.
And then you're gonna add 2.25, 270 to that?
Well, because 280,
Right.
not add to that.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, because what you're looking at for next year is taking that 280 from the capital funding to your available balance. That's what
Okay,
you have,
sure. If you want to look at it that way, sure. Yeah.
right? The assumption is that you're going to have a great year. You're going to be able to spend 400,000. So you're going to take the 280 and add that to the 1.1. And so you're basically going to be left with
1.35.
a little under $500,000.
1.358. Okay, then if
But
we
minus 9, so you're going to be
okay, if we went off this 870 projection,
Mhm.
that would leave us a balance of $487,000.
right.
Now, remember
That's
though,
incredible.
guys, right? And frankly, I do expect 2023 or 2021 to be what year are we in? 2022
Mhm.
to be another really good year. With this Omicron stuff going on, I mean, I'm already turning golf outings away, right? I do foresee us having a good year. I really do. This is the year I'm concerned about, right?
I only see this thing you're still showing is the yellow Excel.
What
Yeah,
year?
we're not seeing any. We're just seeing your capital plan.
Yeah, I don't know what you're clicking and saying if I'm supposed to see something else, but
Yeah, if you're clicking on a cell, we're not catching you, Jeremy.
Okay, right on. So that's why you're not seeing what I'm. Okay, I thought you could see my screen.
we
We,
can see just
The only thing
the,
I think we saw your old screen.
Okay, got it. I'm sorry. Now, can you see this?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I apologize. So I was to say this is your numbers right here, right? Minus the 280 that Mark was talking
What's the 280 for?
next
about.
year.
The capital that we would use towards this project.
All right, okay.
So here we are in this obviously year, right? And this is what we're trying to pay down the general fund for 2021.
Mhm.
Okay. And then in this year, right, we would start paying the TID. Okay. And then, now the other thing we got to keep in mind though, is we are spending, 50,000 on potentially solar in this year. But if we ended up netting, this number right here, which in comparison, look at the numbers here, like 2021 versus what I'm projecting, right?
Mhm.
That still leaves us funding this roughly 500 grand, our reserve fund.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so then that would put us, back to around that $1 million, right? But here's the maintenance building. Oh, you guys can't see the screen now.
Nope.
Sorry. Okay,
Nope.
so that's what's going on is when I switch Excel spreadsheets, you can't see it. Okay.
So you've got 500 on the maintenance building.
Yeah, we've got
Right.
500 on maintenance. Exactly.
Yeah, that was on the capital plan.
Right,
Yep.
which is 2023, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
So that means that you do in fact end up with roughly 400, 450 unencumbered. You do the maintenance billing. Before we get too deep in the weeds on the numbers, let's just stipulate a couple of, we'll call them facts for the moment. The changes you've outlined, we say are $1 million.
Can you
How
see
much
this?
of that,
Yeah.
how much of that $1 million is contracted? And how much of that $1 million can Peaview do itself? And how many years can you take to do this?
Oh, you're talking about the project?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
And you
So
guys
let
are
me-
building tees all the time.
Yep.
You're
So
not
let me-
building new greens, but you're building ponds. You're taking trees out.
Yep, I understand
So
what you're saying, Tom. Give me one
Okay, if
sec.
it's $1 million retail, what is it for Peaview plus retail?
Give me a second.
What's the actual cost, right?
The net.
The net, that's it.
Bear with me.
It's better.
Okay, can you all see this?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
We cannot do number 9 Woods Green.
agreed,
We cannot do number 8 Prairie Green.
agreed.
We cannot do, due to the slope, number 7 Woods. Well, I shouldn't say we cannot. I'd recommend us not. But on a priority level, we can take this one out. And we could look into that ourselves, Tom, to your point. Okay?
Okay, yep.
Number 3, we cannot do ourselves.
Why not? Well, okay, I'm sorry. Let me ask a different question about that. You could certainly get rid of the left side of the fairway pretty much on your own.
Correct.
You could do part of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what they're getting at is that what you need is a cash flow projection over the next 4 years and try and net the Norby prices down to what you have to have as an outside contractor versus golf crew do.
I understand, right? So I think what we should do is so 3, yeah, we could theoretically do that, right? Could,
Mhm.
but we need earth movers in there to help shape the fairway,
Fair
right?
enough.
Right.
Right.
And I will give this on a scale of could we do this as 10? Yes, we 100% could. To 1, we could not at all. I would give this a 3.
Okay,
I don't feel good about redesigning this entire hole ourselves.
all right. So I guess what I'm really looking for, Jeremy, is of what needs to be done, how much of it can be done by P-view, how much of it has to be contracted, and how long should we take to do it? I think 22 is going to be a big year, a big play year. So the least amount of disturbance in 22, I think, is crucial.
There'd be zero disturbance in 22.
Right, yeah, I was gonna ask when all of this theoretically would start anyway.
2023 in conjunction with Pleasantview Road, right? You guys recall, this is the whole point we're doing this, is because we're gonna have earth movers there.
Right.
We're gonna do this in conjunction with Pleasantview Road.
And then we're going to have a couple of years of trash as they work on the road. So in 23 and 24,
No, 23, 24, it's done. There's nothing.
they're going to do everything in a year.
That's my understanding. They're gonna
That would
start,
be-
they're gonna start doing preliminary construction in 2022 that will have very little impact on Pleasantview Golf Course.
Yep, got it.
Okay. And then they're gonna go through, in my understanding, it's 2023 is the year. That's my understanding. Now, I'm clearly not in the meetings that Sean's in, right? Our city engineer.
Yeah, well,
Um,
that's the plan. I understand.
Yeah,
Because what I was looking for, Jeremy, was if we're going to be, if our access is going to be difficult, we're all assuming our play is going to be down. That's an opportunity to do some of these things.
well, that's,
On the other hand, the risk there is that the golfers that do show up are so upset with construction all over the course that they say, I'm not coming back.
I agree, but that's what we're gonna have to do on our end from a marketing standpoint, right?
Right, so we need a
Okay.
plan.
We've got to be transparent with the customers. We have to be ready for that. I know, I appreciate that we're talking about this. I've got that. Okay. I've got that for paying for 2-3 years to say that we have done the right thing, essentially in perpetuity for Pleasantview Golf Course.
Right.
Right. So this one, to me, hole 8 Prairie, the good news is if we do this correctly, we can continue. We don't need a temporary green because we can continue using that green.
Right,
So that one to me makes a lot of sense. Right? Hole 9, unfortunately, we need a temporary green. And then obviously hole 2 Lake, we need a temporary green. But if we could potentially do hole 8 somehow without using a temporary green, that would be a massive win, right?
Right.
So back to what we could or could not do. Could we start opening up hole 6 and making this better? Could we potentially do these tees on hole 6? Yeah, you bet. I would feel better, Tom, on hole 6 than on this one here, on hole 3.
well, to that end, Jeremy, I don't remember what I called Kevin the first time I met him either, but that was wrong. Stack them up, lay out the plan and decide which ones you can do. And I mean, I think everything on this map needs to be done. And I think these are crucial to P-view continuing to be a course where people want to come and play. It'll be good for our current customers because frankly, they've seen the course as it is over and over and over. So some nice changes like this will continue interest there. And they're all big positive changes, so it'll be good for others too. My hope is that 3 years from now, you can't stand the number of rounds that want to play here. You're already in that sort of
Yeah,
situation.
we're already there. Well, okay, so let me share you. I didn't want to share my exact thoughts with you because I wanted to hear your thoughts, right? I think what needs to happen for Pleasantview is the following. We need a downhill par 3. I despise the fact that every par 3 is uphill. It's not fun, right? Hole 8, we have plenty of room. it affords us the ability to put a downhill par 3 somewhere, right? Without having a temporary green. Do we need to do hole 9? No, but we should, right? That's kind of one of those, like we should do that. I think we need to look into hole 9 being a par 5.
Absolutely.
And if we need to do that, then we need to move 8 green,
Yeah.
right? So if there were a priority list here, this, in my opinion, would be number 1, hole 8 of par of the Prairie. Number 9, or, this complex over here would be number 2 for me.
Yeah.
And then 9 Woods would be number 3 for me.
Yep.
And then it would go 6 Lake, and then finally 3 Prairie. I think it'd be super cool to have this more of a water hole. I think that would be amazing. I talk about increasing the design of the golf course to make that a little bit more risk reward. I think it'd be great.
And in the meantime, quit mowing the south end.
Well, but there's more to it. There's more to it than that.
Oh, I know that, but there's not many people go there now. Let it
Well,
turn
see,
into South
Tom,
Fescue.
the trouble is that bunker's too tight. We would need to redesign that bunker,
Yeah, I know.
right? Like it's more to that. And I understand what you're saying, though.
It's too bad because it's a pretty hole with a split fairway, just isn't
Well,
used.
which is why we don't need to do anything there, right?
Exactly, right.
So I've got a big meeting with the staff, the entire, my management team on Wednesday. We're all doing kind of like a little winter retreat to get on the same page for this upcoming season. I'll ask what they can and cannot do. Okay. Like what we feel is right. But I think back to Mark's point, from a cash flow standpoint, gosh, I mean, we can certainly afford to do all of this. It's just how much do we want to leave in the reserve fund, right? Because we have the maintenance building on the docket.
Mhm.
The other things that we need to start, think about is the future. Do we want to rethink about the pavilion to help with golf outings? I don't know.
I say, let's see what your priorities look like. Let's try to figure out what those cost, how much you can do, what the rest of it, and of the other stuff, what the staff can do. And then let's see what the hit is on reserve. I mean, the worst thing we can do is spend reserves.
So can we just go through a little exercise here? And I might need your help because I can only share one screen, sorry. So let me, because I kind of want to answer what Mark was talking about. Okay, you guys can see these numbers, right?
Yeah.
All right. Our current fund was just under one. Oh, excuse me, it was not actually. It should have been more. Give me a sec. Oh no.
You need to take the million
sorry.
230,
This
the
one.
million
This one.
236, the 1,236,000, Jeremy. That's your 2020 ending balance.
Okay, thank you, Mark. What was that? 1,236,000.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. You're going to finish the year 1,000,004. Is that right?
Roughly. Yep. Just under, like 1.398.
So put that in there. So sum those up right there.
Give me a sec.
No, right underneath it. Just
Hold on. Okay.
Well, you got about 2.5, 2.6, something like that.
Yep.
so now the 1,000,006 for the general fund, minus $1,000,006.
It would be two. Oh, minus, okay. So
Okay,
now you
and
have a million.
then you're gonna need to add 400,000
Where's that 400 coming from?
next year's capital.
It would be 300,000.
No, it's 400,000. You get, the golf course gets the general fund's gonna get what? You gave them 450, but it's really supposed to be 4, and then what's left over, right?
No,
So
remember, we restructured that, so it's 450
okay, so put 450 in there.
for the TID.
No,
Okay.
no. The TID money is the assumption is
Okay.
that's coming out. So you have 450 to spend on capital, right? However you split it between actual expenditures or reserve additions, you get 450 there.
Okay,
Now take out the 900,000.
redesigned.
Yep.
Right.
There you go.
Got the number we thought, yeah. It's 506.
Right. The only thing that's going to throw a monkey wrench into this is if the city wants pilot.
Right. And I'm pretty certain they will. You can't give them $1,000,004 in 1 year and say no the next.
Well, no, they're getting the 450.
For TID.
Yeah, I know that, Mark, but we
I'd put
paid
in
off.
there, I'd put in possible pilot of mine at 120.
How much?
120. That's really what you got. I take that redesign up to 950 too, because that's what you get, right? He's giving you,
Hold on, guys, give me a second. Yeah, buddy.
Can I have some dinner?
Yeah, I'll make you dinner in just a second. Okay, pal. I need you a couple more minutes. Thanks, buddy.
yeah.
Say, Mark.
I said I'd make that 900,000, 950. And that's probably being conservative. Or the other way, generous. Right, you're under 900,000 now. By the time you go out and bid this stuff.
So, but right now we're projecting, based on, can you see the screen right here, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
See the projected
So-
2022.
So remember our budget, this is what we created, this is our forecast for 2022. Oops, no, wrong one. Sorry, this one right here. Okay, we're netting essentially after expenses 1.2, right? And then we pay general fund 450. Okay, and then we have the that 45K this year that's taking from the reserve for solar, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
So our net increase is actually 465 in cash.
So you need to add that to your numbers.
Right. So
Just call it NI.
NI. What was that number? 450? Was that
Yeah,
what was
450.
so this would be our balance after 2023.
Okay, but then you need 520. So go underneath the 864. You need 520 minus 520 there. That's for your maintenance shed. And then what's your net going to be for 24 or 23?
We're dropping it back. Well, gosh, this is really no.
I think you need to get some some bill stuff in here.
We're dropping it back here to that 840, you know, kind of where we were,
Mhm.
right? just to be very safe, who knows?
Yeah, so
And
you're
then-
gonna net another 150.
Correct.
So you put that on there. And what's that total?
494.
Yeah. So the question is whether you guys are comfortable with having your reserves be just under $500,000 in 2 years.
Now, hold on, guys. Remember, that maintenance building, not all 520. So I have only 255 or 245 coming from our general fund,
Where's the rest of it coming from?
from our standard 300K capital.
No, but we already accounted for that.
We did not in the year, we did not.
Well, you took the entire 520, so it's either coming from your capital piece or your reserves.
Yeah, but Mark, this 150 number is less that 300 number. So technically that number needs to be 450.
All right, put 450 in there.
I mean, it does make a difference, right? So now we're at just shy of 800 grand.
So what else is on the project list?
That's really it. That was the main one.
Okay, but you're starving equipment and you're starving the clubhouse and you're starving other purchases.
Well,
For 2 years.
but that's why we're building them up this year, because we know what's coming.
The answer is that it seems like it cash flows correctly. Right, but you need to make sure you understand what you're starving yourself from, right? So since 2013, 2014, the golf course has been very careful about putting money back into the course in terms of equipment, in terms of the clubhouse, right? I'd hate to see that you focused on moving dirt and then got behind the curve on all that other stuff.
I don't disagree. And for the record, guys, I'm not recommending we move forward with anything right now. I'm just trying to understand where our head's at, right? And Mark, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think where we need to decide, right? What are we comfortable spending, right? If it's not this full 950, is it 500? Is it 600? Why is it zero? Right?
Yeah, so I would recommend that you work with Bill and have him create something where you can embed these numbers into it and get you that.
And I want to see it not in one fell swoop. I want to see how many years you can stretch this out.
Yeah, why can't we do this in
Because
chunks?
I'm really concerned about reducing our reserve to.
Well, so but there's the assumption is that $900,000, there's some mobilization savings in there, right? If you tell Kevin I need this done in a year, it's going to be a little bit cheaper than having spread that thing out over 4 years.
But how
right,
much
these stuff-
cheaper?
Yeah, I don't know. That's part of the questions, right? But if you're bringing an earth mover onto that golf course, that's not a free service.
Well, I understand that, Mark. And so we go back to this.
Well, that's why, Jeremy, I think what you should do is get Bill to help create. So if you go back to that spreadsheet, the one with the financials, just have him put some lines in there so you can put these expenditures in there, right? And map it out. The back of the envelope stuff seems to suggest it will work, but you'd want him to confirm it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm happy to do that. I think that's very, very, it's a smart move. And I just, ultimately, guys, just wanted to get direction here.
Yeah, I think you have them build it and then you have the discussion again as to what and when.
Right.
Okay. I'm good with that. I lost my pen somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Oh, there it is.
Right? I mean, ideally, you do this at the same time that they're doing the stuff for Pleasantview Road. But
Right,
Understood.
correct. And that reminds me, so I do not want to stretch this out to 4 or 5 years. I do not want to have earth movers on there on the golf course for 4 or 5 years. If we're going to do something, I personally would recommend doing it in 1 year. 2023 is the year. We get it done. We rip the Band-Aid off. Boom. We move on in 2024 and we do our thing.
the assumption on all of this is that you're doing this between seasons, right?
No.
Well,
No.
That's
but
the problem.
Yeah, but that's not, I mean, we all know that grass doesn't grow this time of year, right? So no, this would be like August. This would be in the heat of the battle at times, for sure. Which is why 8 Prairie makes so much sense to me, right?
so what you're gonna have to do then is you're gonna have to model loss of income.
We've already done, we've taken a step drastically back just to break back even, right?
Yeah, but
That's
that doesn't include all the construction. You're gonna have to take another hit to your revenue with all this construction.
We took that first hit primarily on access issues.
Right? If you're saying that I'm gonna finish with $1.2 million because of Pleasantview Road,
well,
you-
so then let's take out another 10%, 15%, 150 grand, right?
is that the number?
That's a great question.
Well, yeah,
Which is why I was really conservative with that. I mean, I don't have studies on hey, if we do 3 holes of construction, what's that going to do to impact us? Like, I
Yes.
don't have that information available, right?
so
I don't know what Pleasantview Road is going to do to us. I genuinely don't.
Jeremy, you don't have that answer, but you do have a little bit of insight, because when the third 9 was added, play was really difficult. And so year over year, you will have at least an indication of your fractional loss.
I don't disagree. I don't think we're comparing apples to apples.
I agree. I didn't say it was the best data. It's merely a pointer. But you don't have anything right now. So there is
Right,
one example out there that might be
Right.
helpful.
right.
Tell Bill, he can simply go back through the records. Let him figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and then, but the other issue is, Tom, is, like, think about all the new holes on Woods, all the new holes on Prairie. We wouldn't be doing that, right?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about management style differences. We're talking about, frankly, course closure, full course closures.
Well, again, I'm not saying that you have the perfect number.
Yeah.
And if Bill's going to figure out what the number is, you can look at it and say, yeah, that's not going to help me. But without it, you're stuck with nothing. Well, I'm looking forward to the next conversation because I want to see this stuff get done.
besides, you have dinner to cook, Jeremy.
Yeah, I do. Probably some macaroni or maybe pancakes. I'll do pancakes. All right. Well, good. As a committee, I mean, is there one thing over the other that you would be leaning at here? Like, as far as like, we really like number 8 or we really like number 9, or I mean, what are your thoughts there?
8 first.
8 first.
Okay. Just so I can give Kevin Norby just a heads up, like.
8 first and 9 Lake. unless that has to be done with 8 Lake as well. I guess you said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those two are in combination.
I
9
mean, I
Woods.
can live with Woods 9. All it is hard. It's just, you know. The problem is that with Woods 9, you're talking about moving dirt too.
Yeah.
Is it a whole lot of dirt?
No, it'd just be reshaping of the green, which is why it's a little less expensive, right? It's not a brand new green.
But you could or could not do it.
We
Would
could
wanna
not.
do it?
We would not want to do it. No.
All right. No, I think you've got the priorities right, Jeremy. I don't see any issue there. You've obviously been thinking about this and I think you've got the stuff in front of us. I agree with what you're trying to do. Let's find a way to get it done.
All right. Okay, so I'll do some more digging in financial aspects of you know, like our financial health with various scenarios, right?
Right.
And you know, if I need to push this forward for us to make a decision, so Kevin Norby can, because I don't want this to impact the timeline for the Pleasantview hole 2 and 3 Lake, right?
Right.
So if for some reason we need to make decisions, I'll let you all know. But I think for right now, I have a direction. I appreciate your information and your thoughts, and I look forward to our next meeting in February. I think we need to meet in February.
I agree.
Okay.
Do we have the date down yet?
Nope, we do not. Is there anything else anybody wanted to add to that? I think, is that it for the agenda? Everybody, I don't have it up, so I can't quite see it.
Yeah, that's it. Just what we want to talk about next time. That's the only other thing.
Okay. Let's set it for February 21st. That would be the third Monday.
Sounds good.
Anybody taking that off?
Oh, I'll still be here, but not for long.
Works for me.
Okay.
Same here.
Okay. Jeremy, thank you. A lot of information, a lot of stuff to think about.
Thank you
Mhm.
all, and I appreciate it. And I guess we need a motion to adjourn from somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I so move.
Tom, okay.
I'll second.
Seconded?
Carl, got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't see.
Okay, everybody, thanks for your time. Truly appreciate it, and I'll keep working on this. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye,
Jeremy.
everyone.
All right. Bye, guys.
You, Jerry.